Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Craig. Craig is a stand-up comedian from New York. So let's see what Craig has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello.
Hi Craig, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing, William?
I'm very well, thank you very much. So Craig, tell me, before we start the game, just tell me where you're from.
Well, I was born in Washington, D.C., and then we moved to Atlanta, but I've been living in New York for about 16 years.
Right. What's the best about New York?
The people. I don't know, everything at your fingertips, whatever you want, you can find it.
Cool. And what do you work full-time as a stand-up comedian?
No, mostly I'm a video editor.
Really?
Yeah, I've been stand-up off and on kind of like my whole life, but never really made a lot of money off of it. It's just something I'm passionate about.
Okay, that's cool. And but do you do show like sometime during the week or the weekend? Do you have some shows, or how does it work?
Yeah. You know, normally before COVID or something like that, I'd maybe do like a couple shows a month here or there. I had some friends and we would run a show at a brewery in Long Island City. So, you know, beer and jokes, it's a good time.
That's cool. I was looking at your videos on YouTube. They're so funny. My goodness.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I was gonna ask how you found my stuff.
I really enjoyed it. Also, you always play the two characters yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm doing it just kind of like, you know, to keep myself busy during this time. And yeah, you could film stuff with actors right now, but there's just a lot of hurdles to jump through to make sure everybody's healthy and tested and stuff. So it's really just to pass the time and to do something.
How long does it take to do one of those cuts?
I don't know. It depends. Like, maybe taking me like an hour or two to film it. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm going to do before I start filming it. Or I just like have an idea for like a visual joke. I'm like, oh, this would look funny if I could pull this off. And then I'll just kind of improvise the dialogue around it. And then I always try to keep everything to be like a minute at the most, you know, the videos. So you got to make it happen fast.
I see. I'll tell you something now. When I invited you to the show and after I was looking your profile and everything, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Because I just started out now. I don't have any experience at all. You know, I'm just starting. I was like, oh my goodness, he's a very professional one. And what have I done?
Not even, man. You're the professional because you're, you know, making the effort to go out and meet new people and talk. And like, that's really just how it all starts.
I'm learning, and I just hope you understand.
That's great. Doing great so far.
Thank you very much. Okay, Greg, so welcome to William the Magic Box. Talk about this one. The box here full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna put a music now just for us to relax to get before we start the first question, all right?
All right, yeah.
Right, let's get to the first question. Oh, I like it. I like it. I'm glad.
Bring it on.
Tell me, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Believe it or not, looking at myself, my face, which is funny because I'm making these videos where I'm the only actor in it, but I spend time playing music. I'm a writer too, and I like doing that kind of work because it's like more, there's like a product, you know, and what I look like doesn't have anything to do with it. And I think we're all very self-critical of ourselves, you know, it's easy to criticize yourselves. So I'm just like, right before we got on this phone call, I was making custom thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Right. I was looking at my face. I was like, man, I look stupid. I look so dumb. What am I doing?
That's funny. That's great. Right, let's go for the second question. Let's do it.
Okay.
Right, let's get another question. What would your ideal life look like?
Ideal life. Well, I'd like to say that I'm living it right now. Good. But you know, you gotta stay positive. Ideal life is being my own boss. You know, working for myself and not having to compromise my integrity or my ethics or, you know, whatever's like in my soul, whatever's like driving me, you know, like I think a lot of people, whatever that is, they kind of keep it quiet, you know, because you have to sacrifice a lot to just really survive in life. And if you're raising a family or whatever, but I think, yeah, an ideal life is to go from whatever your ideas are in your head and your heart and your soul to like action in the world. And it's like a continuous flow, you know, you're not giving anything up.
I see. Do you, how long have you been in this business for, like as a comedian?
I started doing stand-up when I was 18. I'm 38 right now. But I took a lot of breaks, you know, I would stop and I would start. But when I was 18, I got a job at a comedy club, like taking the tickets at the door and showing people to the table, you know. And so that's how I got exposed to a lot of stand-up comedy. And I always loved comedy as a kid. You know, I'd watch it on TV or whatever. And so I think, and that's one of the how I benefited from being young in that situation. You know, stand-up comedy club is mostly like older people. So when you're like an 18-year-old, you're kind of like have a different perspective on things. And you're more brave, I think, when you're younger. So I was just
That's
like,
true. That's
yeah,
true.
I was like, I'm gonna try that. I want to do that, you know, like, and it's hard, you know. You find out that the professionals, the people that are really good at it, they make it look easy. They make it look like they're just hanging out with their friends. And then when you watch a professional, and then it's like go to an open mic night, and then you see how difficult it is when it's all these people that are really struggling, you know, because it's really, you know, it's just you and your presence, you know.
Okay. Cool. Shall we go for another one?
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
Right, just before the next question, tell me your first time you stand up in a show as a comedian. Tell me about it. How was it? When was that?
It went pretty good, actually. I was, I think I was 18 or 19, and I was at college at the University of Georgia. And there was a comedy club, not like a physical place, but like, you know, in college you have clubs, like interest groups.
Yes.
So there's only like 3 people in it. And we weren't even old enough to really be in the bar, but they let us do a show once a month. And wow. I had some friends there. I think, and my brother lived like an hour away from where I went to college, and he drove up to come see me do it. And it went pretty well. Like I had a good time, and I think I knew what it meant to make people laugh and how to make people laugh. And so it was like a really nice, a fun experience. And I ended up becoming the president of the comedy club.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's only like 3 or 4 of us, but
I mean,
yeah, but it was a funny story. So we had to like make banners to advertise the shows, you know? And so do you know the comedian Chris Rock?
Yes.
You heard of him? Okay, so yeah, he's a big comedian. So when you're in the student clubs, you could go down the student union, and they gave you giant pieces of paper and markers and crayon, like signs to hang up. And so I made this giant sign that said Chris Rock, and then really tiny it said will not be. And then I said appearing at Tasty World Club, you know? And then I had the date and the time. And when I walked into the venue that night, the phone rang, and the bartender picked it up and said, Chris Rock's answering service. Like,
no
because people had just been calling. They saw the sign, and they thought Chris Rock was going to be.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. Oh, wow. Is your favorite comedian or not?
He's one of them. I guess like maybe Dave Chappelle, or maybe someone named this guy Brian Regan. I think any comedian who's really good, they're really like their own personality. They're so much their own selves that it's hard for me to be like, oh, so-and-so's my favorite, because each one of them is so much their own selves, you know, that it's just like nobody else could ever do that. You know?
That's true. They've got their style. Right. Next question.
All right.
What would be the title of your memoir?
Oh, this is funny. I thought of this a couple times. One would be The Pose That I Chose.
Okay.
That would be the title. And then the other is my quarters on the borders.
Tell me about it. Why is
Well, quarters is like, it's like an older word for like living. Like a where do you live? It's almost like antiquated. So I feel like I've kind of like always been on the border of not necessarily society, but like mainstream and underground. And so I've kind of lived my whole life, I feel like, kind of like with one foot in each world, of like, I was a bartender. I was a bartender for about 10 years before I was like doing editing full time, and I was doing comedy the whole time, but I don't know, kind of being a part of society, but also kind of having your own little universe that you live in.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So cool. Let's go for another one.
Let's do another question. Yeah.
Good. Very good. Good one.
All right.
Right. What have you learned during this lockdown?
Wow. The importance of a clean kitchen. How to properly cook chicken in a cast iron skillet.
That's funny.
In addition to that stuff, just self-reliance, I feel like where I was in my life before the lockdown, I was actually uniquely positioned to kind of like be okay with it. Used to like relying on myself and sort of entertaining myself and taking care of myself. So, and I was talking to another friend of mine who's a musician and an artist, and I feel bad for people who are not creatives during the lockdown, because if I live my life where I would wake up, go to my job, come home, and just do that all the time, I don't know what I would do with myself right now. But because, that's what led me to make these little funny videos and stuff, is just like I have this time to myself, and I'm unemployment from the city or whatever. So it's like I'm looking for jobs as they get posted, but there's not a lot of jobs out there. So it's really just like, and that's the whole thing about being an artist and a creative. You really have to like be self-reliant and like, what is your identity? Like, what is your philosophy? Like, who are you? And like, how do you express that through the medium that you work in?
Is your girlfriend in the same business as well?
Yeah, she's a painter.
Okay.
So, and her studio is close by our apartment. And she works for an artist. She's an artist assistant, and then she makes her own work in her free time.
Oh, wow.
So for us, it's kind of like, I don't want to say not too much has changed, like the big change obviously is not seeing friends.
Yes.
We started because New York, the numbers have been going down. So we've been able to like hang out in somebody's backyard with like 2 or 3 other people. I went to like a block party yesterday that was like outside, and I saw people I haven't seen in a minute.
So things in New York right now. So you already can socialize with people like 1 or 2 households. How things are working over there right now?
That's pretty much it. I think a big part of it is how personally comfortable the other people feel. Like, so we had some friends that they were in Florida and like staying with family, and a bunch of the people in the family got COVID, and so like one of them, he must have gotten it but wasn't affected by it, had to like take care of everybody, so he's like very like aware of it and very kind of scared of it, fully so. And then other people you just see kind of like maybe they don't care or whatever, they're just like, in New York you don't really have backyards so much, so a lot of people have like barbecues in the front or kind of on the street. But on the subway, everyone's been pretty good about wearing masks. I've been like really proud of like New Yorkers in general. Is like everyone's like wearing a mask and giving each other 6 feet of distance and stuff. So
in London right now, you need to use a mask during public transports. But for me, to be honest with you, it looks like back to normal already. The schools are open now, and when you go to a bar, you just need to be sit down. You cannot be like standing up with a group of friends. You just need to be seated, and people come to serve you. So yeah, slowly getting there. Slowly.
Yeah.
Let's get another question, Craig.
All right, let's do it.
Next question.
Next question.
What makes you most proud?
Oh, that's a great question. I guess my friends, you know, the company that I keep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like a good reflection of like who you are as a person, is like the people that kind of people you spend your time with and the people that you're around. So when I'm like spending time with my friends or with my girlfriend or my family, and I like look around at the people that I'm with, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm proud of the fact that I get to be around all these people, and that you know, I love them and they love me, and it's just kind of a nice, I don't know, even especially the friends I've made in New York, there's like, and I've, you know, bartending for so long, you kind of make like almost like a family connection with the people that you work with and stuff.
Sure.
And so I've like bonded on like a nice level with a lot of other, and where everybody's a creative person, you know, everyone's an actor, a musician, or filmmaker. And so it's a part of surviving as an artist, is really like relying on the like friendship and the camaraderie of others.
Oh, next question, Greg. Let's
all right.
do it. I need to ask a question before the next question. Tell me, have you ever done like a stand-up show that you made a joke of someone that you went home after would think like, I shouldn't have done something, in the back of your mind, in any situation?
Sure. I mean, with stand-up comedy, that's always the way it goes, or not always. It depends on where you're at. Like, I've definitely had shows not go well. You know, I've definitely bombed, and when you bomb in front of like strangers, it's fine, right? Because like, I'm never gonna see these people again. But
yeah.
I had a show like 2 years ago, and it was pretty packed. We had a lot of people there, and I had people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I was like helping run the show. So, and then I was waking up early because we were filming something that weekend, and so I went up to do my set, and I was just so tired, and it just like didn't go well, you know. And it was just like, it's just these people like that, you know, you feel bad for your friends because they can't say anything to you. They can't say good show. You know, everybody knows you had a bad set. And so, yeah, you just try to like, that's the biggest thing about being a comedian, is like how you bounce back from those. You know, I'm kind of a sensitive person. I think that's why it's like difficult for me. That's why I've stopped and started stand-up comedy so many times, is that I'd have a hard time bouncing back from the bad sets. And, you know, if you're going to be a professional, you really just got to keep grinding, because the more you grind, the more you're able to be like, this is my set, my jokes, and you're able to like work any crap. You know, being a professional means you can just get up in front of anybody and really like make it happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, comedy's like one of those things that I just love. It's like always been a part of my life and always will be, you know, whether I ever get to be like on Comedy Central or whatever, you know, like I'm always gonna like love doing humor and telling jokes and things. So.
Oh, next question.
All right.
Rules, sure. Who in your family you trade places with and why?
Who would I trade places with?
In your family.
My family. Like permanently trade places, or just like for a day or something?
Let's say for 24 hours.
For 24 hours? I mean, I guess my brother, you know, he's a lawyer, but he's got a great sense of humor, and you know, he's got a great family and a nice house and stuff. So I'm not a father, you know, I don't have any kids, so you know, to have that experience, I guess, and see what it would be like. You know, maybe I'd yell less or something like that. But yeah, probably my brother.
Okay. He's older or younger than you?
He's older. He's 3 years older.
All right. Well, let's go for another one.
All right.
Next question. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Hilarious, thoughtful, easygoing.
The negative one, which one would that be?
The negative one?
Yeah.
I don't know, self-critical. You know, too negative sometimes. Like I'll be like negative personally, like I won't express negativity, but sometimes if I let my negative thoughts dictate my actions, then it's, then it's not good, because sometimes I think we know what's going to happen in the world. So we don't do something or don't do this or that, but it's really just like negativity keeping you from, I don't know, exploring whatever the universe has for you or life or whatever.
That's true. So. Cool. Let's go for another question.
All right.
Ooh, let's get a question. What's the worst pickup line have you ever heard?
That I've ever heard? Oh, man. I mean, I did bartend 10 years, so I'm pretty sure I heard some terrible ones. It's not even so much like the words that the people say, it's like the way that they approach the other person.
Yeah.
You can just tell it's going to be like cringeworthy or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, I don't know, I say the worst pickup that this guy was hitting on this girl at the bar I worked at. And I knew her, she's like a regular, she's a friend, and he came up to her. I didn't hear what he said first, but she was like, I have a boyfriend. And then the guy was like, well, where is he? And I was just like, we asked the guy to leave shortly after, I was just like, yeah, you just got to go. You just got to get out of here, man. It's a small neighborhood bar. We're all friends there. Like that stuff maybe works at a big nightclub or something.
Yeah,
but
that's true. It doesn't work in a small.
In a friendly environment. Yeah, I never really felt comfortable going to those big dance clubs or anything like that. I was more, I don't know, I want to talk to people.
Local. I see.
Yeah.
Great. Let's go for another question.
All right.
Just before the next question, in your opinion, what's the biggest difference between the American and the British humor?
Oh, what's the difference between American and British humor?
Yeah.
I love British humor, by the way. I grew up watching Monty Python.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a bit of Fry and Laurie, that sketch show that those guys had. British humor is way more dry, and subtle.
Okay.
But I mean, American humor I think goes through phases, and there's different things that are big, well, because you look at the TV show The Office, which is British show, but the American version is one of the most streamed shows on Netflix. People watched it endlessly, and that show's pretty dry, but also kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I think British humor is a little more dry. I don't want to say you have to be more intelligent to understand British humor.
Okay.
I feel like you need to have a little bit more of an intellect. And some American humor is just more I don't know, out loud, fart jokes and stuff, which
I'm from Brazil originally, and I think the Brazilian as well, humor is very similar to the American one as well. I think, yeah.
Yeah. But cool. I mean, but yeah, I love. Did you watch The Mighty Boosh? Did you watch that show?
No.
Okay. It's a good show.
Why? It's a very.
It's wacky, man. It is out there, but the costumes and the sets and stuff. It's really cool.
Hey, let's get another one. Who was your favorite teacher at school, and why did you consider that?
Oh wow. I hope I get his name right. I think it was Mr. Fairley. He was a physics teacher that I had in 8th grade, and he was just very real. He talked to you just like you were a peer, and had a great sense of humor. And we watched the movie Dune. You ever see the movie Dune? It's a science fiction. It came out in the 70s, I think. 70s.
Okay. I don't think I have.
Yeah, they're remaking it. But he set up these surround sound speakers in the classroom, and because it's science fiction, but there is a science element, and we were studying sound waves, and there's something with sound waves, so we watched a couple scenes from the film, and he had these 6 speakers set up and stuff, and it was really cool. That was a fun day. That was a fun lesson.
Cool. 3 questions left, Craig.
Oh, all right.
Let's do it. What makes you laugh out last time? Like hard.
Ooh, what was the last thing that made me laugh out loud?
Yeah.
That's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe something with the cat. I moved in with my girlfriend February 1st, before the lockdown, but she has a cat. So I guess it's our cat now. But she's like sweet, but definitely has her own like personality. And it's funny because before I moved in, the cat's name is Shug, which is like short for sugar. Shug would, like want to curl up with, like sleep with her. And then when I moved in, the cat just decided it only wanted to be with me, like cuddle up with me.
Is it? It's real?
Yeah, it's like real. So it's funny because like I'll wake up and I'll go grab the cat, Kelly be sleeping. I'll try to bring the cat in to kind of like cuddle with Kelly and lay down there. And the cat just like runs right out. She's like she's like meow, meow, and just like runs away. And so it's just kind of funny how like obviously I'm favored. And in lockdown you really got to find like humor and in everything, right? So
I absolutely agree. 2 questions left. Great.
All right.
I don't have my mask here. Shame on me.
I'm doing it for the optics, it's good PR. I'm socially distanced, but
right. Next question is, who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Oh wow. I want to say I feel like the people I'm influenced by kind of change. Like I do a lot of collaborative work, with playing music and doing production and comedy. So I try to be influenced and inspired by the people that I collaborate with and work with. So, I'm in a band right now, and the guy who's the drummer and kind of the band leader, he really he's a great musician and he plays with everybody and he's just like kind of open-minded. And is really like always like, if you make plans, they follow through with them,
Right.
And, or somebody who makes really fun art or something like that. So I try to be inspired by the people like around me. I worked in television when I first got to New York, and I worked like for TV networks. And so when I was younger, I kind of got to see some behind the scenes and like some like quote unquote famous people, people that you kind of idolize when you're younger, and you kind of realize that they're just human, they're just regular people. So I started idolizing less and less people I'd see on TV or movies or whatever, and just like more the people that I'm spending my time with and the people that I'm collaborating with.
Okay.
Take inspiration from them.
Great. Good one. Last question, Craig. Let's do it.
All right. I get a full 360 spin in there.
Right. Who are you the most thankful for and why?
Who am I the most thankful for?
And why?
I mean, probably my girlfriend. Before that, my family and my mom, just for their like never-ending love and support.
Okay.
No matter how many times I've made left turns in my career or whatever, but yeah, definitely currently, my girlfriend, we are doing a good job of, respecting each other and like having a good life together and taking care of each other.
How did you meet up?
The dating apps, swiping.
Oh.
Left, right.
Oh, good.
It's the way,
Yeah. Nowadays, I think it's very popular right now. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, it's not the end yet. What I'm going to do now? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay? Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's start with money.
More of it.
Family.
Food.
Love.
Warmth.
Okay.
Embrace. Sex. Warmth.
Life.
Life. Long life.
Politics?
Stomach ache.
Religion?
Headache.
Fear?
Every day.
Friendship?
Vital.
Desire?
Every day.
Regrets?
All the time.
Wish?
Wish, I don't know, space. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right, let's pretend that I'm going to have a coffee with your girlfriend, and I'm going to ask your girlfriend, just tell me the most beautiful thing about Craig and tell me something that he needs to improve on. What do you think she'll tell me?
Probably that I'm like really laid back and I'm easygoing.
Okay.
And then also what I need to improve on is not always being so laid back and voicing my opinion.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's possibly too laid back and then something bothers you and then you don't talk about it, you know?
See. Yeah.
Also, apparently something she's told me, which I guess is true, is like I laugh a lot. Like if I'm angry about something, I'll like laugh about it.
Uh-huh.
You know? But she's like, oh, that's your angry laugh.
So you recognize already. She knows
Yeah.
already. Right, Greg. Now let's play Greg the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question, okay?
Right.
Okay, you can ask me a question now.
All right, William. During this whole COVID shutdown thing, what has been your comfort food? What food have you been eating that makes you feel good?
Right, I'll tell you right now. Rice and beans.
Oh, all right.
I know it's boring, but Brazilian people, we eat, I think most of us being raised eating beans and rice every single day.
Yeah.
And fun enough, I'm not good in the kitchen. I don't know how to cook properly. So during this time, I need to learn. And I've done very basic rice, beans, and like fried eggs, you know, very simple. But rice and beans for sure. That's something that's I just actually in London you can find so many Brazilian restaurants, and but when you make it, you know, it's very different. And actually I'm gonna keep you on now eating that for like a long period now because I just enjoy it and bring back to my memories as well. So yeah, very easy. Rice and beans. I know it's boring, but it's something that sticks me to my past, my childhood. Yeah. So
that's great.
Did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time. This was a great thing to do on a Sunday.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for your time as well. Thanks for being so sweet and nice to, you know, accept my invitation. And as I said to you, I'm just starting out now, and I've got to learn a lot to learn, and I'm just doing those experiences. And it's nice to talk to someone, to have the experience with someone very like confident as you. Like you are very, you know, because when I saw your microphone there, your phone was like, oh my God, it made it even more scary for me. I was like, oh my goodness. But anyway, thanks so much for your time, Greg. But before you go, if you just can share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life. Oh
yeah. There's a German philosopher named Goethe, and the way you spell his name, it looks like Goethe. It's like Goethe. Oh yeah, here we go. It's about boldness. Whatever you do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius and power and magic in it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, be bold. Yeah, so you're being bold, William. You're reaching out to strangers all over the planet and asking them personal questions, and so you're doing it.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure, Greg. Thank you so much. And all the best. Keep in touch.
All right, you too. Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.